Hello and welcome to Chess with Simon. I'm Simon. We're going to do a very quick blitz, 3-minute blitz. The Scandinavian Defence, early development of the Queen. The Queen d8 line's a bit more fashionable these days, isn't it? Bishop goes to d3 probably. Actually, what we're going to do is put the bishop on e2, and we're going to, I think you virtually have to take here, don't you? Yeah. So now we've got the two bishops kind of for nothing. Now what we're going to do is we pin, we put the rook in an open file, we're going to play knight e4, we'll watch that bishop, crafty, watch that bishop. Okay, let's really watch the bishop, it gets its revenge on you for trying to pick it off. So now we're threatening a discovery on the queen. Okay, so defend that with the rook. We got to think what we're doing here. I want to bring the bishop around. Okay, well, I want to bring the bishop to d3 and create some pressure. Okay, so strictly black can take that pawn. I wouldn't if I was black, but no, it can't because the queen's defending it. Okay, fine. Glad I'm not playing black. Anyway, I think white's a bit better here. So bishop e2, bishop d3, pointing at the king's side. Bishop g5 takes an f6, takes an h7 mate. Oh, even better. Okay, well, let's see if we can create some anxiety, to say the least, around queen f6. Okay, so that's not a bad move. It's a weird move, but it's alright. It's alright. I mean, this, and then I guess this will definitely happen. And then sort of, you know, rook lift. Knight's going to f6, just, isn't it? Oh, that's clever. That's clever, although weirdly, I mean, look, I just want to play the endgame. I think the endgame's fine. But let's think what we're doing in the endgame. We need our pieces on dark squares. Has that trapped the knight? That's a fluke if it has. It hasn't quite trapped it. But it's certainly not on a great square. Let's defend the pawn before we do anything too dramatic trying to win the knight. Anyway, you can't win the knight. Yeah, it's going back there. But we can put pawns. Okay, so we can put pawns on dark squares and we can march our king to the centre, which are all sensible things to do in the endgame. Knight on the rim, maybe. We're slightly getting ahead on the clock, which is always nice. I mean, oh, that's a good move. I could have played c5 though. I could have played c5 because you know what? It doesn't actually give the square. I think we're going to play c5. Yeah, you can take on c4, but I'm not sure it's good. I'm quite pleased to see that actually. I'm quite pleased to see that. Okay, we've got to be a bit careful here. We're going to sort of keep the d pawn defended and then try to Okay, that's a good move. Okay, we'll do it this way. We're playing quite quickly because there's a little bit of a time advantage, and we're going to see if we can't exploit that. I think we're going to exploit it. Good move. We take on c4. No, I don't think that's right, because they take on d2 with a rook. Oh, they're doing something good here. But, so we don't want to lose a rook here, do we? Careful not to lose a rook. Okay, so, I think we can get the pawn back. I mean, black's a bit low on seconds. Is this just going to end in time? Kind of is, right? It's a bit disappointing because, we all know. Well, we don't all know. I would suspect that black's a bit better here, but unfortunately, I guess time's part of it, right? It's a fork. I mean, I'm really taking credit for that because that's a fork. Thank you. Good game. I enjoyed that. What did we learn from that? Let's try and learn something from that. I think what did we learn from that? Analysis. I think probably what we learned is... What did I learn? It's pretty sound. We've got a slight pull. Bishop d2 is fine. There's sensible moves. Okay, this was a bit much, although it didn't feel like a bit much at the time. This was a bit much. What will you do here? Bishop f1. How do you know that? Well, bishop, okay. Black's getting an advantage. Should have played c5. Yeah, c5 is fine here. c5 is a bit better. I mean, yeah, so taking there was wrong. Should have taken on b5. So this was actually quite nice for black. It's here, I got saved by the bell, as they say, but actually, well, we're not, we're not busted. In fact, we're better here. Because of the fork, bishop b7. Now, what I'm doing here is just time. So it's drawn here. I mean, it's drawn on the board. But we do have an outside pass pawn. We've got we're a pawn down, right? But 17 seconds. Okay, thanks. I enjoyed the game. Hope you're all well. See you soon.